guys, it's Dave with My Freedom Smokes, and today I'm going to talk to you about a beautiful mod we recently got in. It is actually a collaboration between 3 different companies, and it is called the Cartel REVENANT. It's made by Cartel Mods. You may be familiar with them, you may know the name from some of their high-end like mechanical mods. They make distiller RDA as I'm using on here now. Make beautiful high-class mods. REVENANT, I don't really know a lot about them, but they're in there as well as producing this. And then also it's using the Omni board from Vaporessa. All 3 of those came together and came out with a beautiful, well-working mod. You see the color's pretty interesting on this. It's like a teal green with some purples and some redstone in there. And that's actually a resin, it's a resin around the body there. The cool thing about these is you don't know what you're getting until you actually buy it. They're all one of a kind. They're all a mystery. Basically, you buy one, and then once you get it, you see what you got. So it's kind of cool. So it's not like you can go in there and say, oh, I want a blue one, you get a blue one. So there's a little bit of a mystery, a little bit of a risk versus reward type of deal with it, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like the blind packs now. My son loves getting blind packs at the store, and he never knows what he's going to get, but he always ends up happy. So it's really cool to see that companies are doing that, which is it's kind of the same thing with a lot of their higher end stuff. Like the stabilized wood mods, you really don't know exactly what you're going to get till you get it, and then you see it and you're like, man, that's great. But yeah, it's a real beautiful mod. What does it say the measurement is? 26.2. So it's saying it's 26.2 wide, because I'm using a 22 millimeter Stiller V4 on here, and I'm using the little beauty ring. They actually come with a beauty ring in here that you slide down over your RDA. Kind of ties everything together, makes it look a lot nicer. Let's go over to Omni board a little bit. The Omni board has all your regular temperature control settings. It's got like your TCRs, and you actually can go in and mess with some of the wave files of how it heats up the wattage and stuff like that as you go through your vaping cycle. The wattage mode on here is actually a smart wattage mode. What that does is whatever RDA, tank, whatever you put on here, it measures the resistance and sets it to a recommended wattage basically. You know, most of the coils you get in your sub tanks, they have a recommended wattage range, maybe like 40 to 60 watts, something like that. Maybe that coil that's 40 to 60 watts, you throw it on here, it'll pop up 50 watts as soon as you put it on there. And the way that works, as soon as you put it on there, it asks you if it's a new coil or old coil. Actually, I think this one says loads, new load, old load. Saying new load will actually go into that recommended. And say you don't like that setting, say like this particular coil I got in my build here is a 0.15, and it came up 80 watts. If you don't want that, I mean, just change it like normal with up and down buttons. Like as I said, it does have your up and down buttons as you have on pretty much any device these days. There's a third button you see here just above the USB port, and that's for switching your modes. You hold that button down just for about 3 seconds, and it switches over to your nickel, and it's 200 degrees Fahrenheit, just off default. Hold it again, goes to stainless steel. There's titanium. There's your memory 1, which is where you can set your own memory 2. Bypass mode, so it's actually going to work like a mechanical mode. It's going to fire based off the voltage in the batteries and the resistance of your coil. And then back to that smart wattage mode. It's a dual 18650 device. Has a nice little door. It's got a little lock feature there. You pull it down and it hinges out. Your batteries go in there in series. Once you actually put them back in, it will ask you new load or old load again. I'll show you that real quick. It's powering on, so it's REVENANT, and it says new load, old load. So this gives you a chance to actually pick whether it's going to be the same tank or coil on there or a different one. If you click new, then it's going to recheck it and give you new settings for it. So it is the same one, so I'm just going to hit old load on there, and there it is. It's showing 80 watts for this coil. All right, so I have a couple of vapes on here real quick for you. 80 watts, 0.15. That's putting out. There's little to no delay on there. And it fires almost as soon as I hit the button, it's firing. There's a little better shot of the 22 millimeter RDA on top of that thing. All right. Let me show you that beauty ring too. we first got it, I mean, I haven't used a whole lot of stuff that comes with a beauty ring, so I was kind of confused. I was thinking maybe to give you a little ring finger. I was like, that's kind of a little bit of vanity there. It is a vanity item, but not for you to wear, it's for your RDA. Here's just a simple little ring. It's got some etching on there. The inside actually says REVENANT. I mean, you see it's about perfect size. You can wear it as a ring, but it is intended to put on like a 22mm RDA or something like that. It's kind of a tight fit on this particular one, so I had to take the airflow control ring off. But this gives a nice little look, makes it look a little different, kind of ties everything together a little more. Get that screw back on there. Alright, so we'll talk about some of the stuff that's in the box, which is not a whole lot in the box. With this particular one, you get your instruction manual and a charge cable, I believe is all. But it is a really nice charge cable. It's like a braided metal charge cable here. And then they got like a spring load. I know a lot of people know the little spring hack for your cords. If you're tearing your cords up a lot, you put a little spring out of a clicky pin. This one's got a little spring on her to keep that connection a little better at the end. And just nice braided metal USB cord. This is for firmware updates, or you can actually charge your batteries in the device using this. All right. So yeah, it's the instruction manual, your cord, and your little beauty ring. It's pretty simple, the extra stuff you get included in this. All right. Put that back. And then the whole thing comes in a nice tin case. It's got your scratch here certification on the back. Just a little bit of information, specifications on the back there for the device. Real simple. Great looking little device though. And yeah, I think this covers about everything for the Cartel REVENANT mod. I guess I did forget to tell you how high it goes. It's a 160 watt mod, stable down to a 0.05, so you can get some nice low builds on there and go up to 160 watts with it. About 160, 170 is about all you really want to do with dual 18650s anyway, so it's about perfect for it. If you have any more questions about the Cartel REVENANT, you can leave them in the comments below. As always, this has been David with My Freedom Smokes, and thank you for vaping.